Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. Derek sat nervously in the sprawling Galactic Council chamber, the weight of his own anxieties pressing down on him as he fidgeted in his seat. The chamber was a grandiose display of architectural brilliance, adorned with intricate carvings that depicted the stories of various species. High above him, extravagant chandeliers made of brilliant crystals sparkled under an array of floating lights, a part of the artwork crafted by the whimsical Artaxians. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, mingling the scents of exotic foods and floral fragrances that drifted through the air. "Order! Order!" boomed Zarlak, the grotesquely tall and spindly head of the Galactic Council. His elongated neck allowed him to tower over the assembly, a mixture of awe and disdain on his features. Derek's heart raced with anticipation as he wondered what this meeting could mean for him. After all, he had been summoned to witness the reading of a will from the late King Veldrak, the ruler of a far-off sector where humans were often viewed as novelties at best and intended for ridicule at worst. As Zarlak began to read from the holographic display positioned at the center of the chamber, Derek's mind surged with possibilities. What would he inherit? A quaint space cottage on a serene star, an ancient collection of rare artifacts resembling objects from lost civilizations? Each positive thought collided violently with a sudden sense of dread as he feared the council's scorn. Then, Zarak's voice broke through the chaos of his thoughts. "To my beloved daughter, Princess Beatrix, I now bequeath my estate and all responsibilities to her new guardian, Derek Thompson, the human." A shocked silence enveloped the chamber, and then it erupted into laughter, loud and cruel. The council members, a mix of elegant Zorians, overgrown Furloxians, and glimmering Chimerans, filled the air with uproarious jeers, targeting him with mockery that cut sharp like a blade. "My new guardian," he gasped, disbelief coursing through his veins as humiliation washed over him. "Congratulations, you've inherited the ugliest daughter in the galaxy," a council member crowed, eliciting roars of laughter that echoed around the room as Derek felt humiliation seep down to his very bones. His cheeks burned, frustration flooding through him. "You must be mistaken," he retaliated, his voice a mixture of disbelief and desperation. "I didn't even know the king had a daughter. This must be some kind of joke." Zarlak smirked, relishing the chaotic scene he had sparked. "Ah, a delightful surprise. She awaits your arrival in the royal palace. Let's see how well a human cares for a daughter who is less than stellar in her appearance." Derek swallowed hard, feelings swirling within him like a tempest. Trepidation mingled with confusion as he contemplated the implications of this inheritance. Who was this Beatrix? What did it mean to be the guardian of the king's daughter, especially one labeled as ugly? The laughter echoed in his ears, but a flicker of curiosity and determination ignited in his chest. Perhaps he was about to embark on an adventure more profound than he ever anticipated. As he clutched the details of the will, preparing to meet his fate, a realization washed over him. This chance could offer him insights into a world so far removed from his own, a universe teeming with possibilities, stories, and perhaps even a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. The journey to King Veldrak's kingdom felt surreal as Derek boarded a sleek starship, pulsating with energy and potential. As he settled into his seat, the ship's vibrant colors flickered around him, transforming the ordinary experience of travel into something extraordinary. Gazing out at the dark backdrop of space, he marveled at the shimmering stars, each one a beacon of possibility. With each passing moment, Derek's anticipation swelled. Would he see Beatrix soon? As the ship descended toward the planet's surface, the magnificent castle came into view, rising from the vibrant landscape like a beacon of hope. The structure was a breathtaking amalgamation of emerald greens and dazzling golds, nestled among rolling hills that danced beneath a canopy of colors. Flags cascaded down from high towers, each expressing the long history of King Veldrak's regime. "Prepare to dock," the ship's AI announced, jolting Derek from his reverie. He took a moment to breathe deeply, steeling himself for what lay ahead. Would Beatrix be anything like the council described? Would she resent him as well? The ship landed softly, and Derek stepped off into a world unlike any he had ever experienced. He was greeted by a royal guard, an imposing figure clad in ornate armor that gleamed in the sunlight. "This way, Master Thompson," the guard instructed in a deep, rumbling voice, leading him cautiously through the castle's opulent hallways. As they walked, Derek immersed himself in the surroundings. Lavish tapestries adorned the walls, some depicting the kingdom's rich history, while others showcased moments of celebration that defined the culture. Every corner of the castle seemed to pulse with a vibrant life force, each chamber holding untold stories. Upon entering the throne room, Derek felt breathless, caught in the brilliance of the sunlight pouring through intricate stained glass windows, casting kaleidoscopic shadows across the grand space. And there, positioned near the majestic throne, stood Princess Beatrix, exuding an air of quiet confidence. Her wild, untamed hair shimmered like copper, framing her face in a way that was alluring rather than unflattering. Her features, while unconventional, radiated strength, and her eyes sparkled with humor and intrigue. She was not what he had expected. "Welcome, Derek Thompson," Beatrix said, her eyes gleaming with playfulness. "I've heard much about my new guardian." Hi," he managed to stammer in response, his heart racing under her gaze. "This is surprising." Beatrix smirked slightly, tilting her head. "Not everyone arrives dressed for royal visits, I see. Should I prepare myself for a grand introduction, or do you prefer to hide behind the curtains? I promise I won't bite." Derek chuckled, feeling the tension ease within him. "Hiding sounds tempting, but I think I'd prefer a proper introduction." Thus began their tentative camaraderie, revealing layers of laughter and shared stories that echoed within the vast throne room. With every exchange, Derek learned about Beatrix's life in the royal palace, her wit, intellect, and the burden of her heritage. He felt the initial apprehension wash away as they connected, forming a bond that promised to blossom into something much deeper. "Tell me, what do you enjoy doing outside of all this?" Derek inquired, hinting toward her royal duties. Beatrix's eyes lit up as she responded, "I adore the gardens. They're my escape from it all, an oasis where I can be myself without concern." "Maybe you can show me the gardens," he offered shyly. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. "I would love that. It's a haven of colors and scents, a perfect place for a curious human." As they walked out of the chamber, the prospect of exploring the gardens together sparked a sense of adventure and wonder in Derek. Perhaps this journey had a richer purpose than he had initially thought. The days that unfolded after Derek's arrival were a delightful whirlwind of exploration and burgeoning camaraderie. Beatrix eagerly took him under her wing, introducing him to the quirks and wonders of the kingdom, and each new experience illuminated his world like a hanging lantern in the dark. As they strolled through the lush gardens filled with vibrant flora that shimmered under the sun's rays, Beatrix shared tales about her father. Funny anecdotes from her childhood mingled with stories of the struggles she faced growing up in a royal household. Her laughter, rich and heartfelt, resonated deeply within him. "Most people don't realize that the infamous thornbloom plants can be friendly," she remarked, gesturing toward a cluster of peculiar flowers swaying lightly in the breeze. Intrigued, Derek knelt closer to the colorful blossoms. "Friendly?" he echoed, tilting his head in bewilderment, unaware of what to expect. "Absolutely. Watch," Beatrix instructed, singing a few gentle notes, coaxing the plants into revealing splendid hues within their petals. Derek's eyes widened with astonishment as he witnessed the enchanting display. "That's incredible. I've never seen anything like this," he exclaimed, awash in wonder. Beatrix's face radiated joy. "See, there's so much more to this place than what meets the eye. It's all about understanding and connecting with everything around you. Nature has its own way of speaking if you listen closely." Throughout the weeks, they explored multiple venues, from the bustling markets overflowing with exotic foods, each dish a sensory adventure, to the grand art galleries showcasing exquisite creations from various worlds. They discovered serene hideaways within the castle, hidden alcoves filled with old books and sculptures, where they could lose themselves for hours, discussing dreams and aspirations. One sultry evening, as the sun dipped low, flooding the horizon with fiery shades of orange and purple, They paused atop the castle wall, their legs dangling over the edge. Below them, the kingdom illuminated like a tapestry woven with light. The sky felt vast, expansive, reflecting the infinite potential of both their futures and their connection. Just then Beatrix turned to him, and her tone shifted, revealing a more serious note. "Why do you think the council calls me ugly?" Derek's heart raced as he felt the vulnerability in her words. Gaze steady, he replied, "Probably because they don't truly see you for who you are. They judge based on appearances, but you have so much to offer. Your spirit, your humor, that's what truly matters." She regarded him thoughtfully, her expression transitioning from sadness to understanding. "Unique." "Right." There was a hint of bitterness in her voice. "I've always struggled to find my place, caught between my father's high expectations and my yearning for freedom." That ache surged within Derek as he listened, deeply moved by her openness. "But it's their loss," he reassured, determination building within him. "You are incredible exactly as you are. Your strength, laughter, and resilience can elevate anyone's world, including mine." Beatrix's eyes sparkled with life as she laughed. "You really mean that?" "Absolutely," Derek responded wholeheartedly. "You have a way of seeing the world that's breathtaking. I'm grateful for every moment we share." With the solemnity of their conversation dissipating, a new warmth enveloped the space between them, blooming alongside the undeniable chemistry that had begun to intertwine their journeys. As days shifted into weeks, they enjoyed playful banter filled with flirtation. Every shared smile and lingering glance ignited a spark between them, weaving a delicate tapestry of anticipation and connection that pulsed quietly beneath the surface. Each accidental brush of their fingers sent electric shivers through Derek's frame, each stolen glance reinvigorating his yearning. One cloudy afternoon in the expansive royal library, lined with endless scrolls and ancient tomes, Beatrix suddenly seized the moment and challenged Derek to a friendly duel. "Let's see how quickly you can learn," she exclaimed, dazzling him with her spirited enthusiasm. Armed with lightweight practice swords, they burst into an exhilarating bout filled with laughter and playful chaos. Derek, initially clumsy, soon began to find his rhythm under Beatrix's guidance. "Like this," Beatrix called, showcasing a precise move that felt both graceful and fierce. As she landed a feigned blow, their laughter echoed through the chamber, uniting them. In their foolishness, they tumbled to the ground, breathless and elated, their faces nearly touching. Okay, I concede," Derek laughed, smiling down at her. They shared a moment suspended in time, the connection between them palpable, charged with possibility. "Don't worry," she whispered, the teasing lilt in her voice building tension. "This isn't over yet." Just as they leaned closer, feeling the pulse of anticipation rise between them, a loud knock at the door interrupted their intimate moment, sending them both scrambling apart. Derek felt a mix of relief and disappointment as reality crashed back into place. "Of course," he chuckled, trying to mask his frustration as they regained their composure. The warmth still lingered in the air, despite the interruption. Although the romantic opportunity slipped away once more, the potential for more awaited them in every light-hearted moment, echoing anticipation that shimmered in the spaces between their laughter, a sweet promise of what lay ahead. Derek found himself once again summoned to the Grand Council chamber, recalling the courage he had mustered to stand by Beatrix's side. The weight of his heart thudded with determination as he entered the chamber, entering a realm that so often felt daunting and intimidating. The atmosphere bristled with tension as council members took their seats, their expressions a blend of disbelief and contempt directed at him. Zarlak, their leader, regarded him with a thin-lipped sneer. "Welcome back, dear human. I trust your curiosity has only increased." Derek squared his shoulders, refusing to back down. "I've come to believe deeply in what I stand for," he declared confidently. "Ah, the guardian of our king's ugly daughter," Zarlak taunted, inciting laughter among the council members. "Tell us, what thrilling tales do you bring?" The laughter echoed loudly, and Derek felt anger fluttered dangerously in his chest. He cleared his throat, determined to rise above their ridicule. "I'm here to address the injustice you all so readily perpetuate. Beatrix deserves respect, just as much as any one of you." "Respect?" another council member sneered. "What insight does a mere human possess? Do you truly believe you can manage a creature of her caliber?" Derek inhaled deeply, shaking off the layers of derision that weighed heavy upon him. "I know more than you realize. Love and connection should not be defined by disdain for superficial qualities. Beatrix is courageous, intelligent, and deserving of admiration." Zarlak dismissed his words with a flick of his wrist. "You jest. This farce of a relationship harms the reputation of this council without question. If anything, your own inability to see beyond appearances shames you all," Derek countered, determination burning brightly in his chest. "You broaden your canon of worthiness by denying us the opportunity of connection. Beauty thrives in a heart's sincerity." The murmurs among council members grew louder, uncertainty rippling through the ranks. Their laughter faded into whispers, small seeds of doubt beginning to sprout. Had Derek struck a chord within them? "I won't allow you to diminish Beatrix's worth any longer," he continued, his voice steady and firm. "You may view her through a narrow lens, but I see her for everything she is: resilient, unique, and deserving of love rather than mockery." Silence fell, heavy and contemplative. Derek felt Beatrix's supportive gaze locking onto him, fortifying his resolve. The trust that had blossomed with her wasn't just a personal one. It served as the foundation for a broader revolution. "Do you even comprehend what your judgment entails?" Beatrix stepped forward, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "You insult my worth without ever considering my experiences. You claim kinship with beauty, while some of you hide the depths of your hearts behind false standards." As she spoke, Derek observed a shift, uncertainty creeping into the faces of the council members. These glimmers of realization reflected the humanity he wished to root in their encounters. Maybe there was a chance for change. Perhaps the power of their words could challenge perceptions. "Reflect upon your haughtiness," Beatrix urged softly. "In accepting us, two souls intertwined, you open your hearts and minds to possibility." Derek stood resolute next to her, feeling the strength of their bond ripple through him, pushing him onward. "We challenge limitations, and through that, we can learn from each other rather than dismiss a journey together." Zarlak shifted uncomfortably in his seat, the control he once wielded now slipping through his fingers. "Perhaps there is something to be said for such alliance," he muttered grudgingly, though it was not easy for him to swallow. The council was at a crossroads, and every member stared deep within themselves as they reconsidered their own misunderstandings. The opportunity to embrace the unknown was within reach, but would they dare step forward toward potential growth? In the aftermath of the tension-filled council meeting, Derek and Beatrix felt a surge of hope buoying their spirits. Their bond had solidified and flourished throughout their ordeal, basking in the warmth of acceptance blossoming around them. One evening, the world outside buzzed with energy, sunlight glowing warmly as it dipped below the horizon. "Can I tempt you with some tea?" Beatrix suggested, her voice playful as they entered a cozy nook of the castle. The room, filled with towering shelves of enchanting tomes and plush cushions, was infused with the delightful aroma of freshly baked pastries. "Only if it comes with those mouth-watering pastries," Derek replied, trying to hide his excitement as he settled into a large, inviting chair. "Deal. Prepare for sweetness," she chirped, her laughter bubbling like effervescent champagne as she headed to the kitchen. Derek watched her, filled with appreciation for her vibrant energy. Moments later, Beatrix returned with steaming cups and a plate heaped high with her finest confections. "Prepare your taste buds," she declared, plopping down beside him. Derek took a sip, and the fragrant blend exploded with exotic flavors. "Delicious. I think I could get used to these royal luxuries," he teased, diving into a pastry. With laughter flowing easily, their conversation meandered between light banter and deeper discussions. The easy chemistry between them felt as natural as breathing, and Derek blessed every shared moment. As they spoke, playful glances and lingering touches began to weave an intoxicating energy. "What's your grand plan for being the best guardian in the galaxy?" Beatrix challenged, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Derek laughed, basking in her infectious spirit. "Honestly, I didn't think I'd gain any royal drama when I accepted this role. I'm just trying to hold my own in the face of cosmic chaos." Beatrix chuckled, a look of mischief dancing in her eyes. "I'm sure you'll find your way through. I can't wait to see what newly opened doors await us." As moments slipped by, she took a breath, contemplation warming her voice. "Sometimes I wonder if things would be different if people saw beyond the surface, if they could understand who we really are. I wish more folks recognized character over golden exteriors," he replied sincerely. "Part of being human is embracing imperfections, which makes the journey richer." Her smile illuminated their surroundings as they locked eyes, their connection thickening the air around them. The soft evening light wrapped around them, drawing Derek into a world where their hearts could discover more than mere companionship. "Do you ever feel that connection tugging at you?" Beatrix asked softly. "Like there's something deeper, something waiting for us?" Derek could feel the impending shift, longing intermingled with eagerness. "Absolutely," he confessed. "I sense it every time we're together. There's something special about sharing this journey with you." Tension hung beautifully in the air as they mirrored one another, softness edging ever closer, swirling around them in anticipation. When Beatrix leaned in gingerly to bridge the distance, their lips met in a tentative kiss infused with unexpected warmth. The kiss grew tender, blossoming from curiosity to longing, deepening as they lost themselves in that moment. The world melted away. Finally, they parted, the softness of their breaths mingling in the space between them. This changes everything," Beatrix said, her voice barely above a whisper as wonder filled her eyes. "Doesn't it?" Derek replied with a grin, fully aware that they had crossed an important threshold. But the fateful chance they had seized left them both buzzing with intrigue and newly woven connection. As Derek and Beatrix reveled in their newfound connection, he felt a strange mix of exhilaration and apprehension as the days unfolded. On one hand, they had forged something remarkable. On the other hand, the Council's scrutiny lingered, like an ominous storm cloud ready to burst. Once again, Derek was summoned back to the Grand Council chamber, and his heart raced as he stepped through the imposing doors. Each footfall echoed against the polished floor, reverberating with the tension buried beneath the Council's surface. The members were filing in, their expressions a mix of disdain and curiously guarded appraisal aimed at him. Zarlak greeted him with a thin smile that barely concealed his contempt. "Ah, our human champion has returned. Have you come to regale us with tales of your gallant pursuits?" Derek squared his shoulders, refusing to back down. "I'm here to stand for what is right, for Beatrix and all those who have faced unjust persecution." Zarlak's features tinged with irritation. "Tell me, what insights does a mere human have in the affairs of grand kingdoms?" The council members snickered, relishing the spectacle. "I understand that true worth cannot be measured by physical appearances or outdated biases," Derek retorted, addressing the assembly. "Beatrix is far more than a title or societal labeling. She is deserving of respect for everything she embodies." The laughter escalated, morphing into cruel jabs that echoed off the stone walls. "Do you believe she truly shines among us?" Zarlak sneered, delighting in the scorn he cast over Derek and Beatrix. "More than you can imagine," Derek shot back, determination surging within him. "You dismiss her but fail to recognize her strength. If you continue this ridicule, it reveals more about your characters than hers." As murmurs washed through the collective assembly, Derek felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps he had struck a nerve, a hint of humanity flourishing among the council's insecurities. "I refuse to accept this baseless treatment," he proclaimed, his voice echoing with passion. "Beatrix deserves to be embraced for her courage, her intellect, and her spirit. A union of any kind deserves celebration rather than derision, especially a bond forged through love." The room grew quiet, tension intermixed with contemplation. Beatrix stood alongside him, her presence a pillar of strength, and he felt the warmth of her support. The earlier ridicule began to falter, diminishing beneath the weight of honest intent. "Judgments built on ignorance do not define our worth," she said assertively, voice firm against the tension. "We are more than our paths. We shape the future. There is honor in accepting those who challenge the notions that govern us." Did they dare entertain the idea of acceptance, Of evolving their beliefs? Zarlak appeared unsettled, his control wavering beneath Derek's and Beatrix's genuine bravery. Perhaps there's merit in considering what true unity represents, he finally conceded, though his tone reflected reluctance. The council was captivated, and Derek felt a mixture of confusion and hope battering against the walls of prejudice, ready to break free. Derek joined Beatrix's side firmly, emboldened by the strength of their camaraderie, knowing they were creating a legacy worth celebrating. In the wake of the council's tentative shift towards acceptance, excitement thrummed through the kingdom. News of Derek and Beatrix's bond sparked curiosity, and a celebration was swiftly organized to recognize their unique connection. The air crackled with anticipation, and the day of the event shimmered with promise. The castle transformed into a carnival of colors, glowing with vibrant decorations and festooned with luminescent banners that danced under the sun. Creatures from distant worlds filled the sprawling ballroom with laughter and stories, uniting all species in a festive tapestry of camaraderie. Derek felt pride swell as he watched guests from across the galaxy come together to celebrate, a true testament to diversity and acceptance. "Look at that!" Beatrix exclaimed, excitement radiating from her as she pointed out a dance circle where various species twirled under a kaleidoscope of colors. "They've embraced our message with open arms." "Beautiful indeed," Derek agreed, his heart swelling at the display of unity unfolding. "All of this because of us." As music rang out through the air, Beatrix gripped his hand, leading him onto the dance floor. Together they swirled amidst laughter and joyous shouts, fully immersing themselves in the radiant atmosphere that surrounded them. With each twist and spin, their hearts echoed with newfound love and acceptance. "I never would have imagined I could reach this day," Beatrix said, sincerity gleaming in her eyes as they danced closely. "You've shown me their strength in embracing who I am, thank you." "I only spoke the truth, Beatrix," Derek replied, the warmth of their connection thumping rhythmically between them. "Your essence, your spirit, it takes courage to shine in a universe that can be so dark." As the music enveloped their senses, the world around them transformed into a living dream. Moments passed in a blur of joy, and Derek grasped that they had even more to celebrate than they realized. More than just a defense against prejudice, they had woven a tapestry of acceptance across space and time, something that could birth transformations beyond their wildest imaginings. As the festivities continued and laughter rang through the air, Derek and Beatrix found a quiet corner, stepping away from the crowd. The vibrant colors danced before them, yet all he could see was her, how the light caught her hair, how her eyes sparkled with life and happiness. It was intoxicating. "Do you think this will change how the kingdom views us?" Beatrix mused, her voice soft yet hopeful, glancing toward the vibrant gathering. "Only time will tell," he replied, "but I believe that love can ripple through even the hardest of hearts. Together, we can inspire change, perhaps challenge perceptions beyond our immediate world." As they spoke, Beatrix's face turned serious. "You know, I used to think love was a burden, that my appearance would keep me shackled to my past. But now I feel liberated when I'm with you." Derek smiled softly. "Together, we challenge the limitations that hold us back, discovering beauty in every facet of existence. We become stronger, not weaker." Laughter erupted around them as friends danced and celebrated life. The atmosphere buzzed, filled with the promise of new adventures awaiting them beyond the horizon. Hand in hand, they faced the vibrant festivities, their hearts intertwined amidst all. Derek couldn't help but feel that they stood on a precipice, ready to navigate the vast cosmos together, eager to explore what lay ahead. As the stars twinkled above, they embraced the magnitude of love as it illuminated their journey, casting a brilliant light upon everything they would encounter side by side, through every challenge and every joy yet to come.